Hello, gang. Thank you for joining me again. If you're tuning in for the first time, I am the Articulate Grunt. Welcome to my channel. Now, great news to a lot of people. The U.S. Army Ranger School opened this week to female candidates. That's right, it is now open to women, and the first 20 are lined up to go through with the next class. Now, should they graduate, they will not be able to be assigned to the 75th Ranger Regiment, along with male qualified Rangers, but they will receive the graduation certificate and the Ranger tab, as do any non-infantry, non-Ranger assigned male graduates. Any officer, any NCO, any soldier going back out to the regular Army, not going to 75th, just gets the certificate and the tab, and that's what they'll receive. However, if you're a regular on my channel, you know from last week's video that just last week, the Marine Corps closed its Infantry Officer Basic course to female volunteers, because after 2.5 years and dozens of women trying to go through, they had a 0% graduation rate. That sucked. But after 2.5 years of having it open, they closed it for those reasons, and this week, the very following week, the Army opens Ranger School. Now, one big difference that is an unfortunate difference, because while this is a great step forward, the Marine Corps published and posted up front what would be required, how every female, every woman going in would be required to make the same PT standards as any male and the exact same training standards as any male going through the course, with no exceptions, no special preferences, and no reduction of requirements. The only thing, after hours of searching, looking through the Army Times, looking through Pentagon notifications, looking through Ranger School notifications, that I was able to find that the Army put forth, is that women entering Ranger School will be required to meet the same base level entry standards for push-up, sit-up, pull-up, and run. That's it. No other training standards, no recycle standards, nothing else has been addressed publicly. It may be in documentation behind the scenes, but it has not been put out in the public. This is a problem. This is a big problem for two reasons. First, if it ever came to light that preferential treatment was being given, that a secondary lesser level of requirements was being required, it would set female advancement in the armed forces back a decade or more. Any woman going through a previously male-only training program would be the, yes, I graduated XYZ. Yeah, just like those ladies from Ranger School that had to pass lesser standards. So if they're requiring exact same standards, they need to put that out in public now, before training really starts and gets going. The second thing, if it hasn't been addressed, if it isn't put out there, but even if it is required that they meet all the same standards, if it's not addressed, there will always be a question in some people's mind, and that will always cause conflicts for folks. Because quite simply, you can tell 5 people you have the same jobs, you have the same base requirements, you have the same level of pay, but if there's a suspicion that number 5 has the same qualifications, but with a lesser requirement, the other 4 will never accept or look at them the same. It's just human nature. And in my 16 years of experience in the Army, just basic knowledge and experience, if it's not addressed and put out there, that's just not a safe safety net. That's not a good situation for the future. Because either somebody's trying to hide something and play some political games and it's not requiring the same standards, or somebody's being stupid. Because it's been addressed, as I've said, it needs to be put out there, made public, so it can be no question, nothing. And it needs to be monitored. The first classes going through need to be watched. It needs to be monitored to prove it is actually being done to the same standards. But that's my thought, my experience, my opinion. Yours may be different. Leave me your thoughts and comments down below. Leave me your experience. Let me know where you stand, what you've seen, what you've experienced on the subject. Hit the like or dislike. Subscribe if you haven't already, so we can continue to keep up with each other. And take care. And remember, get up, get out, and get involved. If you don't, somebody else does, and they screw it up or do it in a way you don't like, don't approve of, don't agree with, you got nobody to bitch to but yourself. But you're welcome to bitch to me too. So because they did something, you didn't. Take care of yourselves, and I hope to catch you next time. I am the Articulate Grunt. Until then, out from here. Bye.